Go.
Alright, you've got your trays tagged and everything. Mail's coming off the belt. First thing you want to do is grab it, tap it down, because you don't want your barcodes to be above that. You want them in the window. It's the most important piece of this mail, is that barcode. If any kind of print is in that, or black marks or anything on the window or on the envelope, it won't get where it needs to go. So that's the most important thing there, is your barcode. Tap it down, make sure that it's tapped down in the window, and you fan. Once for the barcode, make sure when you're fanning it, you see that all the barcodes are in the window. And then sometimes you'll either be printing the return address there, or you'll be printing a meter. It'll be either or. You want to fan for both of those too. Make sure it's printing the return address good. Make sure it's not running off the top of the envelope or below the line. Same thing with the meter. Make sure it's not running off the side or off the top. Once you've got it, you want to check the difference. You want to check your tags against it. So we got, says it's going in an EMM tray, tray number 4. You look on your piece of mail, you'll find your tray number corresponds on your tag. It'll tell you 12 pieces. That looks like 12 pieces to me. And that'll usually be, your sequence number will usually be the first one in the key line here. That'll make sure you're keeping your mail in order. But you just match your tray tag to that. And if it's less than half of the baby tray, then you want to get a rubber band on it, so the mail doesn't fly around in the tray. Alright, now, first, if you're starting the skid and the job, the first tray you get off of this machine, you want to put your colored sleeve on it for the verification. So when it gets down to the quality control verification, he knows what your first tray is. The very first tray comes off the belt for the skid, gets a colored sleeve, and you set it aside. You don't put it on the skid. The very last tray that comes off of the machine, you will want to put a colored sleeve on it as well. You'll put those together on the top of the skid when you're done. We'll get into that later. But your mail's coming off, you're fanning it, tapping, making sure everything's good. When you're running on the older machines, we call these the swing arms, you're going to want to load your tray back to front to keep the sequence numbers in order. Because the way it runs totally opposite of the Pitney APSs on the other side. So when you're running swing arms, you'll load back to front, like so. When you're running off the APSs, you'll do the exact opposite, front to back. Constantly fan. And another tip, every time you pick up a new tray, verify you're going in order with your tray numbers. That way you'll always know where you're at and you'll never get behind, or if you lose a tray or miss one or one's misplaced, you'll notice it immediately. Just every time you grab a tray, look at your tray number, then go to your belt and look at the tray number, make sure it matches. And then you just put you've already put your first tray down there, so just load your correct sleeve on there. And that's that.